Hey everyone, it's Ryan here. It's been a while since I've done a video like this. I'm doing my predictions for WWE Evolution, which takes place this Sunday. It's the first ever all-women's pay-per-view. WWE nowadays, literally in the past couple of years, are doing a first ever to do with women's stuff. They had women's Iron Man match in NXT, but obviously they don't count that, so the first one was technically Sasha and Charlotte. You had the first women's Hell in a Cell match, you had the first women's Money in the Bank, you've had the first women's Royal Rumble. Now we've got a first women's pay-per-view. I'm not sure if they've done something else just yet. There may have been other things, but I can't remember, if I'm honest with you. I'll get around to it at some point. But it's been a bit of a mixed build-up, if I'm honest with you. Some of it's been good, some of it not so much. I haven't paid attention to half the stuff. Like looking over the card, I can see where it's been built up nicely. The main ones they've been building up are Becky Lynch versus Charlotte in the last woman standing match. That's another one that's going to be the first ever last woman standing match. Remember, they don't count NXT. Asuka and Nikki Cross never had one. So yeah, Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Essentially, this is where it sort of more makes sense. But the problem is, we've seen this with Styles and Nakamura, and then you get it. We've had it Styles and Joe, and now we've got Rebecca and Charlotte, where they're facing each other for like the fourth time now in the fourth consecutive pay-per-view, I think. But it sort of makes sense because the rivalry's gone that bitter. They have to do it to the point that one person can't get up essentially, and they can end it that way. Then we've got Ronda versus Nikki Bella. If Nikki Bella wins, I'm done with the women's division on Raw, because Nikki Bella, I get she's improved and everything, but the Bellas are literally the worst people to have, especially with this whole women's evolution thing. I get that they have improved since they started, but they were literally the epitome of the whole diva thing, where they were sort of brought in for their looks rather than their ability. And even then, still, they're a bit clunky sometimes. I hate the fact that building these Bellas as these pioneers of women's wrestling, where they didn't do any, literally, the only thing they've done is been part of the AJ Lee pipe bomb, which they don't even mention AJ Lee anymore, because obviously she's married to CM Punk, and obviously they've tried to avoid CM Punk as much as possible. And other than that, sure, Nikki had the longest world title, Divas title reign, but that was because they were trying to get rid of AJ Lee from history, and also it was a bit. But yeah, like I said, I'm not really interested in that one. I really hope that the build has been alright. I just really hope that Ronda beats the fuck out of Nikki Bella. Bree's probably gonna get a bot again. I hate to call the Bellas so much, but Bree is like a heel on Raw and a face on SmackDown. Although I don't think she's recently been involved with Daniel Bryan, so I guess that's sort of why they've done that. But it's sort of annoying to me that she can appear on both shows. But I guess they have their reasons. But before I keep rambling on about all that, I'm going to go with the rest of the card. The thing that I wanted, and they've done it partially, because another one they've done is it was going to be Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Trish and Lita, the Attitude Era versus pretty much then versus the past versus the present. I get Nikki's currently still wrestling as well, but she is from the mid 2000s. Back when the wrestling was peaking as well, especially with Trish and Lita. But I sort of guess why it's out, because obviously they've been aligned for so long. And unfortunately, Alexa Bliss is out injured, so Alicia Fox has taken her place. Again, Alicia Fox has been around for about 11, 12 years now, I think. But again, it was sort of after the whole Lita Trish main eventing thing, if you know what I mean. So I guess it sort of makes sense, and obviously if they're still going. And then other than that, they haven't built anything on the main roster. The Battle Royal is a clusterfuck, if I'm honest with you. They've been doing that whole, hey, we're having a Battle Royal, and throwing people over the top rope, and they're like, if that happens at Evolution, that means she's eliminated. It's like, we get it, we know how Battle Royals work, you do this every fucking time. Literally, every build-up to the Andre the Giant, more Battle Royal, people throw someone over the top rope, and one of the commentators goes, if that happens at WrestleMania, he could be the winner. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, we know how that Royals work. It's the Royal Rumble, but they're all in there at once. But anyway, like I said, I keep rambling on because there's things that annoy me. But one thing I have enjoyed is there's going to be an NXT match on there, and there's going to be a Mae Young Classic match on there. It would have been nice if there was a UK Division 1 on there as well. Like, basically showcase all the things they're doing with the women. So, not just on Raw and SmackDown. The Battle Royal just seems like, oh, we'll just throw them all on there. And I hate the fact that Asuka, who had like this whole year of dominance, and now cut to, like, obviously she loses at this year's WrestleMania, and now she's literally resorted to tag teaming with Naomi and now being in this Battle Royal. It's like, ugh, you know. But let's get straight to the card. Or I can keep rambling on. I did 6 minutes now, and I'm kind of not even got to it. So they have 7 matches. We have Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey. Please, Ronda Rousey win. If Nikki Bella wins, I will hate it. And like I said, I will just not pay attention to the Raw Women's Division after that, unless she gets it taken off on the night after or something, because I really don't want to see her champion. I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I will now. Unfortunately, on Raw, Roman Reigns revealed that he had leukemia and he's had to relinquish the title. I know I don't want to say it's bad the fact that it took something like that for him to get cheered by people, but like, it's definitely heartbreaking. It's sort of like when Edge had to retire. Obviously, not for the same reasons, but you sort like when there's that realism to it, and you sort of realize, oh, they are actual people. Because obviously, for years, people have been like, Roman sucks. We need to get rid of Roman. Blah 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 blah. Like, he needs to be off my television. But like, it's unfortunate that it takes something as real as this for people to actually appreciate what he does. Because like, I've been a fan of his work. Again, like, the majority of people say this, they're not a fan of the character, they're a fan of him as a person. Which we get is sort of what Cena was back in the like mid-2000s to early 2010s. He would just constantly be in the world title picture. There was a couple of times where Roman was actually appreciated, was when he was feuding with Big Show after WrestleMania 32, because he was putting on good matches, and I think he was feuding with Bray Wyatt. That actually went alright down for a bit. The whole point was, he wasn't in the main title picture, and I think that's what they need. They started doing that with John Cena, and that's when people started liking him, especially the US Open Challenge, because he wasn't in our faces all the time, like, this is our main guy, you should like him. But, like I said, for Roman to lose it that way, obviously it's a bit sad, and obviously, everyone else has already done this, but obviously I'm going to wish Reigns the best wishes and a speedy recovery. It's going to be amazing when he comes back. I hope people won't shit on the character again in the meantime. It's been, obviously because it's a heartfelt promo, it's almost been one of his best ones. I have a feeling his character has been not misinterpreted, like, he's been mishandled, if you know what I mean. There's been so many opportunities where they could have done something with him, but they've just made it wrong, if you know what I mean. So, for example, after WrestleMania 33, after beating The Undertaker, he gets booed for 5 minutes and he just says, this is my yard now, gets an even bigger boo and leaves. That should have been the heel turn for Roman. But then within like a month, he went back to, oh, I'm going straight for the title. Like, oh. And then you had, after WrestleMania 34, his thing is he's whinging because he lost at WrestleMania, and now he's complaining because he's getting a title match in Saudi Arabia. It's like, why would you complain about that, you know? But, again, before I ramble on about Reigns, I'm just going to say one more again. I hope he has the speediest recovery ever. Like I said, he has beaten it before. I do hope he beats it again. And it is a super unfortunate way for him to lose the title. Yeah, all the best to Roman Reigns. And I'm going to carry on with this now. So, like I said, Ronda Rousey to beat Nikki Bella. We've got Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in the last one standing match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. I don't want to see Charlotte with the title again, especially with how hot Becky is right now. And I don't just mean looks, I mean, like, as the concept of a heel Becky Lynch, it's sort of Stone Cold-esque, where it's like, people challengers, whether it be Asuka, Naomi, and now face Carmella, who knows. But I'm going to go Becky Lynch to win this one. If it goes to a no contest, I will be pissed off because they've done that multiple times. Where it's been something like this, and I think there's been about 6 matches in the past few months that have been ruled as no contest. So you had Styles Nakamura in Saudi Arabia. You had Styles Nakamura at Battleground, I think, where they kicked each other in the dick and stayed on the floor 10 seconds. The Hell in a Cell main event was ruled a no contest. I'm sure something else was probably ruled a no contest at some point, but I generally don't want any more no contests. The whole point of these matches is so there's a winner. We've got Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler in a rematch for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going to go with Kairi Sane to win. Shayna Baszler has been brilliant as a champion. Unfortunately, I've not been watching as much NXT. I've only caught up with it the past couple of weeks because Aleister Black's return, and obviously they've caught back up on the story. So I'm going to go Kairi Sane to win. Could probably get some other people, maybe Bianca Belair and other people. Like I said, I didn't pay too much attention, I'm afraid. We've got Toni Storm versus Io Shirai, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce it. In the 2018 Mae Young Classic Tournament final match. I'm going to go with Toni Storm. I've not really watched this. I just heard Toni Storm's been doing amazing. So I'm going to go with Toni Storm for that one. Trish Stratus and Lita versus Mickie James and Alicia Fox. Obviously, Alexa Bliss can't wrestle, so she's just managing, I think, for now. We've got the historic Women's Battle Royal, despite the fact, I don't get why it's a historic Women's Battle Royal. You just had the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. They love this idea of everything is historic. I bet if you go through the years so far and take a drink for every mention of history or historic, you would pass out by the first month. I'm sure in 2017 Royal Rumble, Michael Cole says history 3 times in 10 seconds. He's like, Chris Jericho's made history by thingy. Yeah, he's made history, and he's made history. Like, I get it, history. To me, it's just a women's battle royal. Nice thing about it, the winner gets a women's championship match, which means it's got more of a purpose than the women's battle royal at WrestleMania did. I'm going to go with Asuka to win this one, because she's still the only one that can be a valuable threat to Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair. I know both brands are on there, but I'm going to go with Asuka. I don't want Naomi to win again. There's another case of she won the Battle Royal and did nothing with it. Obviously, unfortunately, Matt Hardy's retired now, but obviously he won that one, but he didn't really, again, do anything. He was aligned with Bray, which was good, and then they won the Raw Tag Team titles, I think. So at least that was something. And finally, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya versus the Riot Squad. Again, a match I don't really care for. We've sort of seen this already on TV. We've seen, the build-up's been nice because it's been like Sasha versus Ruby Riott, or Bayley versus Ruby Riott, or Bayley versus Liv Morgan, or Sasha Banks versus Liv. Basically, it's been separate people and not the actual match itself, which is the way you should build it. But I'm going to go with Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya. I feel this is going to open the show and will be a feel-good moment. And apparently, as of October 27th, which is today, 20 people have been confirmed for the Women's Battle Royal. They did say there would be about not 50 people in the Battle Royal, but there'd be 50 women competing at WWE Evolution. So you got 2, 4, 6, 12, 18, and plus 20 is 38. So they're going to fill up another 12 spots. I think this is where all the whole nostalgia bits come in. So you're going to have Ivory, Molly Holly, Kelly Kelly, Michelle McCool. Basically, all the people that were in the Royal Rumble this year. Possibly more, who knows. But, again, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to say I've got low expectations for it, because I just hate the fact that they're doing this whole, look at us appreciating women. It's like, we get it. You've been doing it for about 4 years now. You don't have to keep pointing it out. We all appreciate what you're doing with the whole women thing. Just don't, fucking keep pressing it as, look at these women, they're so amazing. And women, it's like, we don't have to be in that in the first place. So we appreciate the women as they are already. We started appreciating them since 2011, I'd say. Beth and Natalya were definitely the first ones for me. And then as soon as obviously Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte, Paige, AJ Lee, Caitlyn, all that lot, when they started showing like I said, it should hopefully be a good match. Good show. I will do a review afterwards. If anything odd happens, that's normally when I do a review, i.e. Hell in a Cell, when you have that stupid no contest at the end. But that's my predictions for Hell in a Cell. You got Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Kairi Sane, Toni Storm, Trish and Lita. I didn't even mention my predictions. I've gone Trish and Lita because they're going to do the whole nostalgia thing. Asuka for the Women's Battle Royal, and then Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya for the last one. Thank you for watching this video. I will try and do more whenever I can. And let me know what your predictions are. I shall see you soon.